It's not my blindness that dictates, who I am or what I am. And I've pretty much proceeded through life, with that approach, is the fact that it isn't my blindness that defines me. I'm George Wurtzel. I'm in the woodworking business. I've always had bad eyes, so basically grew up as a blind person. Never saw well enough to read standard print or recognize people. My recognition of people has always been through, what they sound like, what they smell like, how tall they are, how short they are, different things. I was born in Saginaw, Michigan. Grew up in Michigan. Went to a residential school for the blind from 3rd grade through 11th grade. I came out of the school for the blind with a really, really good sense of all kinds of industrial arts. So, looking for something to do, I started building some lawn furniture and putting it out in the front yard for sale. A guy came through one day and he bought 2 of my lawn chairs. I was really excited. And he came back 2 weeks later and ordered 100 of these lawn chairs, and I was in the woodworking business. Went on a cultural exchange to Japan. That kind of got me into the wanderlust. And then I got involved in cross-country skiing. I started going to Colorado for, some of the first events. And then I got involved in the U.S. Paralympic cross-country ski team and went to Geilo, Norway in 1980, representing the United States. And then the following year, after that, I got involved with a group of people who were going to cross-country ski, starting on the Kola Peninsula in Russia and ski all the way across Norway, Finland, and Sweden. The warmest day of the trip was the very, very last day. It actually got to 32 degrees. The coldest day was 57 below zero. That's cold. Back in the 80s and 90s, I got involved in competitive horseback riding. Raised and broke and trained Arabian horses, and so I've always loved those kinds of things. I lived in Hickory, North Carolina, working in the furniture business there. I'd also lived in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I'd been working in California for San Francisco Lighthouse for the Blind. We restored this old grape crushing barn into art studios and an art gallery. We had just completed the gallery. We had our very first art show, and then the Paradise Fires came along and burned down 20 buildings on the property. And I decided it was time for me to retire. I didn't want to live where it was hot. I didn't want to live where it was cold. I was looking for the place that was just right, and Greeneville, Tennessee fit into that picture. I had, a criteria for looking for a place, looking for a building that was centrally located in a small town where I could walk to every place I wanted to go. Near a bank, near grocery store, it had to be near doctor's offices and all those kinds of things. And it's amazing, this particular building in this spot checked every one of my boxes. So that's what got me here. And I will tell you, if you're ever going to move to a town where you don't know one single person in the whole town, make sure you have a national ad running on TV. One day, out of the blue, I get this phone call that says, we're from Subaru and we we're shooting an ad and we want a blind person to be in the ad. And I'm just about ready to hang up, and he goes, no, don't hang up on me. He says, this is real. They were looking for a blind gentleman between the ages of 55 and 75, somewhat rustic and a little bit curmudgeonly. And I was the perfect fit. I had all three of the criteria that they were looking for. It was the major, major, major icebreaker for moving to a new town. When we bought the building, there was 3 relatively mature ginkgo trees directly in front of the building. And so I thought, they're a pretty tree, and there's all kinds of really cool Japanese folklore about ginkgo trees and different things. And so it was a perfect fit. The thing that has put me on the map for here in Greeneville has been making wooden biscuit cutters. A lady put a picture of our biscuit cutters up on the White Lily Facebook page, and it just went nuts. So that put us in the biscuit cutter business. And then I make a lot of plates and bowls, and I'd say what I do as far as the wood turning business and what I make, I really like making utilitarian pieces. I like the fact that you make something and people use it. I teach, turning lessons and woodworking here. I have found over the years I'm actually a really good teacher. And I think one of the things that makes me a good teacher, and I wish I knew how to teach it to people, is the fact that I'm really good at figuring out how to teach you in the way where you learn. I'm one of those teachers who just happens to be able to, sit down with you and figure out where you learn, how you learn. Let me show you how I do it, and then see how you learn it. I like what I'm doing now because it's fun. One of my goals with my building here is to have my own, big gallery in this building where we can do art shows and different things. If I stay healthy, I'll probably make it happen. You never, when you start pushing the 70-year-old mark, you never know what's going to happen tomorrow. So don't buy green bananas.